So this week we're spending a lot of time talking about metabolism, and I love the idea of actually using hummingbirds to kind of describe some of that. And so they may be the tiniest birds on the planet, but hummingbirds are the biggest eaters. In fact, no animal has a faster metabolism, roughly 100 times that of an elephant. Hummingbirds burn food so fast they often eat 1.5 to 3 times their weight in nectar and insects per day. The ruby-throated hummingbirds is perhaps a better name would be hungry birds. Maybe this explains why people rarely see hummers when they aren't eating. In order to gather enough nectar, hummingbirds must visit hundreds of flowers every day. And just one day of cold temperatures or bad luck finding flowers can mean death. Hummingbirds push the limits and live their lives only a few hours from starvation. Sometimes there is a day or several days of cold temperature, and sometimes a hummingbird just has bad luck. What happens to hummingbirds then? These tiny birds have devised a fascinating way to conserve energy when they can't be eating. At night, or when the weather is too cold or too rainy for feeding, they go into a sleep-like state known as torpor. During torpor, the tiny bird's body temperature can drop almost 50 degrees. The heart rate may slow from 500 beats per minute to fewer than 50, and breathing may stop altogether. A hummingbird consumes as much as 50 times more energy when awake than when torpid. If you were to find a hummingbird in torpor, it would appear lifeless. If a predator were to find one, it would be lifeless. While torpor has benefits, there are risks as well. It can take as long as an hour for the bird to come back into an active state, so torpored hummers cannot respond if there's an emergency. How do hummingbirds come out of torpor? As their heart and breathing rate rises, they start vibrating their wings. The use of any body muscle produces heat, and that's why you get warm when you're exercising. The heat generated by the vibrating wings warm the hummer's blood supply, and then the warmed blood circulates through the tiny bird's body, and soon the body temperature is back up to its normal 102.2 degrees. Fascinating, and I think we will have lots of very interesting information that is presented over this week's subject matter about metabolism. So I like to just throw in a little introductory video with something cool, and I thought some of the photography of the hummingbirds in this case was just really beautiful. All right, good luck with this week's material.